Go get them, President Trump. Reduce that spending. We're behind you 1,000%. Well, he has. He has. 0.1% he's asking us to reduce. And I'm not saying senators shouldn't ask questions and make some changes if they need to be made, but here's the bottom line. It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this?
We are giving $3.6 million to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, dance focus groups, and male prostitutes. We are giving $833,000 to sex workers and their clients in Nepal. And when President Trump says cut it, suddenly the same people who claimed to love fiscal responsibility go quiet. It is gut check time. And today we are breaking down exactly why Senator John Kennedy just delivered the most important speech on the Senate floor in years.
I want to say, Mr. President, next week, President Trump's going to send us over what's called a rescission bill. What does that mean? Well, we've got a $7 trillion budget, okay? I don't know how much of that $7 trillion is waste, but every fair-minded person would have to agree that there's some money being spent in that $7 trillion that shouldn't be spent. It just shouldn't. It's wasted money. And so President Trump and this Congress made one of its objectives trying to reduce spending. Not spending that we need to but spending that needs to be reduced. I call it spending porn. And the president has sent us a bill. He's saying to Congress, I want you to reduce spending in the current budget by $9.1 billion. And let me tell you what the spending, what constitutes the spending I want to reduce. Well, first, $9.1 billion out of a $7 trillion budget. We're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about 0.1%. That's all. That's point one. Point two, you need to look at what the president's asking us to cut out. I'll just give you a couple of examples. I didn't make this up. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street. Maybe we could use that money for something else. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies. The president's saying we don't need to do that. We've got other priorities. We're giving $500,000 to Rwanda to buy electric buses. The president is saying to us, Congress, we don't need to be spending money on that. There are more important things. We're spending $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar. I don't even know what insect powder is, but the president's asking us to cut it out. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. The president's saying, I don't want to do that. And he's right. That's enough. You get the idea. That's why I call it spending porn. triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this? Well, Congress didn't. The bureaucrats did. It's money we appropriated, but we didn't tell them to go spend money, $833,000, and give to sex workers in Nepal. They just took the money we appropriated and used it for that. And so the president is asking us to do what's called a rescission, to cancel the spending. Now, I have listened, I've been here 8 years, Mr. President, and I've listened to a whole bunch of people talk about the need to reduce spending. But you got to watch what people do, not what they say. Because talk is cheap. And around here, I've learned pretty quickly that reducing spending, it's like going to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I bet you want to go to heaven, Mr. President. I bet our guests in the gallery want to go to heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the trip today. Most people, you are, sir, and I admire that, but most people want to live a little longer. And that's the way it is with reducing spending around here. I want to reduce spending. I support it, but not just yet, because I've got this project. Well, and I've listened to that. And I've especially listened to it for the past 100 days. Go get them, President Trump. Reduce that spending. We're behind you 1,000%. Well, he has. He has. 0.1% he's asking us to reduce. And I'm not saying senators shouldn't ask questions and make some changes if they need to be made, but here's the bottom line. It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. And if you talk the game and say, let's reduce spending, and you vote against this bill, in my opinion, you ought to hide your head in a bag. Because you will be able to cut the hypocrisy with a knife. It's real, real hard, Mr. President, to preach temperance from a bar stool. It's gut check time. We need to pass this bill. I yield the floor, Mr. President.
Let me be straight with you. Senator John Kennedy walked into that chamber, looked Washington dead in the eyes, and said what every hardworking American has been screaming from their kitchen table for years: stop wasting our money. Now here is what people need to understand. President Trump sent Congress what is called a rescission bill. That is a request to cancel already appropriated spending that has not yet been spent. The total amount he is asking to cut from a $7 trillion budget is $9.1 billion. That is not even 1/10 of 1%, 0.1%. That is it. That is the entire fight. And yet Democrats are acting like the sky is falling. Kennedy laid out exactly what this money is being spent on. $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street, $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies, $500,000 to Rwanda for electric buses, $67,000 for insect powder in Madagascar, and then the ones that should make every American's blood boil. $3.6 million to Haiti for pastry classes, cyber cafes, dance focus groups, and male prostitutes. $833,000 to fund transgender sex workers and their clients in Nepal. These were not decisions made by elected officials. Kennedy made that clear. These were unelected bureaucrats taking money that Congress appropriated broadly and directing it wherever they pleased with zero accountability to the American people. Now here is where Kennedy's speech hit hardest for me. He said, "I have been here 8 years, and I have watched people talk about cutting spending like they want to go to heaven. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to take the trip today." That is the most honest thing said on that Senate floor in a long time. Politicians campaign on fiscal responsibility, and the moment a real cut lands on their desk, they suddenly find a reason to oppose it. My opinion, if you stand at a podium and tell your constituents you believe in reducing government waste, and then you vote against cutting funding for male prostitutes in Haiti, you do not deserve your seat. Kennedy said it best: you will be able to cut the hypocrisy with a knife. This is not a left or right issue at its core. This is about whether elected officials will do what they were sent to Washington to do: represent the people paying the bills.
American families are cutting back on groceries, skipping vacations, and watching your paychecks get stretched thinner every month. And while that is happening, their tax dollars are funding dance focus groups overseas. President Trump is right. Senator Kennedy is right. This bill should pass, and any senator who votes against it owes their constituents a very long explanation. And before I let you go, I need you to do something right now. If this video made you angry, if it made you shake your head, if it made you proud that someone in Washington finally had the guts to say what needed to be said, then hit that like button right now. Share this video with every American you know, because people need to wake up to what is happening with their hard-earned money. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Which one of those spending items made your blood boil the most? I read every single comment, and I want to hear from you. And if you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. We are here every week holding Washington accountable, and we are not stopping. God bless you, and God bless America.